We've ranked all the schedules. Now let's tell you who's going to win all the games. Mark Rogers TV on college football. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for the best in college football coverage. All right, we've ranked the schedule 68 all the way up to number 1. Now we're going to predict every game in 2017. Let's keep a couple things in mind here. Number 1, we give you a percentage chance of win. That doesn't mean the final result always relates to the percentage chance of win. The classic example in 2016 would be Pitt going to Clemson, pulling off the upset. On that day, Pitt won the game. So if somebody had predicted that the Panthers would win the game, they would have been correct. That doesn't mean that they had the probability of winning that game. If they played again, or those two 2016 teams played, Clemson would have the higher chance of winning at home. Of course, they're the national champion, but Pitt pulled it off. So I'm going to defy the odds because there are going to be upsets in college football this year. We've knocked out Syracuse. Let's look at BC. Northern Illinois on the road. That is not a gimme by any stretch against the MAC opponent, but BC wins the game. Then it's 3 difficult games against Wake Forest. That's a home game against the Demon Deacons. I give Boston College a 55% chance of winning, but I like Wake winning on the road. Notre Dame. That's a home game for BC. They've got a fighting chance in that one against the Irish coming off a 4-8 campaign. They should be better this year, though, of course. That's a loss for BC, and then they finish that off in the month of September with a brutal game at Clemson against the Tigers. I give them just about a 5% chance of winning. I rounded off most of these percentages for the probabilities of winning. So 1 and 3 in September for BC. They get a win against Central Michigan coming off a 6-7 campaign in the MAC. Then they go on another losing streak. They've got a shot against Virginia Tech at home, 35% chance of winning. Then they've got Louisville. They've got Virginia. BC, a slightly better team, but they're on the road in Charlottesville. I think they lose that one. Then you've got Florida State and NC State at home. And look, I've got a big upset there with Boston College taking out NC State in Boston. Yes, I think North Carolina State's the better football team. Don't argue with me. Well, of course, argue with me. That's why we have this channel. We love to debate college football. But understand the rationale. Not every game is going to go according to the chalk. Otherwise, we wouldn't do this. UConn and Syracuse to close out the season. The game in Storrs, Connecticut against the Huskies could be a bit of a difficulty there. Syracuse, that game also on the road, so that's a loss as the Orange finally get a win in ACC play. For Boston College, add them up. You only have 4 wins. And how many in the ACC? We just have a win against North Carolina State. That's it. 1 and 7 as they tie Syracuse for the bottom of the Atlantic Division. Let's discuss and debate college football as we do here on Mark Rogers TV. I try to get to all the comments. Can't possibly do that, but I get to enough of them and enjoy reading them all. Let's talk about it right here on Mark Rogers TV.